Myself A. Usharani, Assistant Professor EC Department, going to deliver a lecture on buses, which is the topic under computer architecture and organization. Already you know about that bus. In the first unit we learned about bus is nothing but it carries an information from one place to another. Okay, here the processor and memory, I have already seen that the main memory, processor and IO device, all the devices which are connected, which are available in the computer are connected by means of a bus. Okay, these buses are communication path. It provides a communication path for transfer of data, control signals and everything. And at the same time, here it supports interrupts. If you are connecting an IO devices, the IO devices are interrupts the processor by using these control signals, that is by using these buses. At the same time, these are used as a arbitration purpose also. Let's see what are the different types of buses. The buses are basically categorized in terms of three. There is the address bus, which identifies the address of the memory location, address of the IO devices. Okay, the second thing is data, which carries the information. Here the data is a bidirectional. Why? Because here the processor operates performs two operations. The one is read operation and the second thing is write operation. Read operation is nothing but the processor reads the data from the external devices. External devices may be memory or IO. Okay, here the read operation is the processor reads the data, that is it input from the external devices it has to receive. So the data's direction will be inside. The next thing is by output. The processor writes the data to the external memory, to the memory and to the IO devices. Then the direction will be outside. Okay, so the direction of the data bus is bidirectional. Coming to the address. Address is provided by the processor. The processor identifies the address of the slave and address of the IO devices, address of the memory. So the processor is the master. At the same time, the DMA can also be act as a master. Okay, next thing is control. The control is nothing but control signals. If you want to perform read operation, it asserts by the read control signal. If the processor want to write operation, it asserts by the write control signal. At the same time, which interrupt device has to accept and which IO device has to receive, all the operations are under control of the control signals, and this will be performed by the processor. The processor will take care of which device has to accept first and which device has to accept next. All the control activities are controlled by the processor. The next thing is the timing information. Okay, the timing information is also in the under the control bus and it is processed by the processor. The next, the basic thing is which scheme we are using for timing of this data transfers over the bus from processor to memory or IO. The basic schemes are synchronous and asynchronous. Now we are going to see this synchronous and asynchronous buses. Now coming to the synchronous buses. Synchronous, the name itself it indicates synchronizing the devices. So here all the devices are synchronized, that is with the same clock we are connecting. The processor and memory and IO devices, whatever the devices are connected in the system, all those are synchronized with the same clock. Okay, here we are considering an example of read operation. Okay, always we are talking with respect to the processor. Here the read operation is nothing but the processor performs a read operation, that is it inputs, it has to read the data from the external. Okay, here the processor is the master, so the master asserts where is the address and where is the data. So before going to this, first we have a bus clock. Within the single clock cycle, we have to perform a complete read operation. So here the bus clock, here we are considering T0, T1 and T2. And T0 is the initially we have. First, the master places the device address, which device has to read, from which device it has to read, and the command. Here the command is read operation, the command, and it indicates the read operation. So the address and command will be placed by the master. The next thing is, once the master assets address and command, the slave identified by this address and the slave is ready. If it is ready, it will places the data on the data bus. Now the master has to read the data which is available on the bus. So at the time of T2, the master strobes the data. Strobes means it is reads the data. It will place the whatever the data is available on the bus, it will copy to the master buses. Okay, with this it is an input operation, that is the master reads and data from the slave. Okay, next here we are considering ideal cases. With the instant of T naught we are getting the this address data with instant of that time, that is it is an ideal representation. But in practical cases it is an interface circuit from master to slave. There is a path. Okay, it will interfacing circuits, it will take some time, that is there is a propagation delay. Let's see the next one, the same read operation with the delay consideration. By considering delay operations, read operation with propagation delay, the same thing, we are considering the same clock signal with the intervals T0, T1 and T2. Okay, at the first the master provides the address and command, but on the bus it will see at this time TAM. The TAM is nothing but address and command appear on the bus at the time of TM with the some propagation delay. Now the slave has to receive the data, receive that address and command, and it has to place. So address and command reach the slave is with some more delay. Okay, it not at that instant of T naught. The next, the slave reaches the address. Now it has to place a data on the data bus. See previous example, it placed it at the time of T1, but now it is delayed by the TDS. Okay, data appears on the bus with some delay at the time of TDS. Next, after that, again it has a propagation delay to reach the master. The data reaches the master with some delay, that is TDM. Okay, previous case, that ideal representation, in that at the instant of time we have a signals, we have a data, we have a command, but in practical scenario, there is a propagation delay that can be considered by TAM is nothing but it is not at the instant of T naught, it will take some delay. Next, with multiple clock cycles, in the previous example we are considered only single clock cycle. Okay, within the single clock cycle only it has to perform multiple operations, that is here the clock time will be more, that is it is a low frequency signal. Okay, the clock time should be taken as long period to complete the complete actions. Okay, this is the disadvantage. Different applications requires different time, but depending on the application we can't change the clock period. For that, here we are using multiple clock cycles with high frequency. That is the next example, multiple clock cycles. The complete operation will be completed in the multiple clock cycles. For read operation, for some applications it will take 4 clock cycles. Depending on the application it will change, but the frequency here we are considering the clock frequency. Here the clock frequency is high frequency. Let's see the same operation, read operation only we are considering, that is the master has to place the address and command and the slave has to reach that, and the slave has to slave has to make the data is about that the slave has to keep the data on the data bus, and it indicates the I am ready. Let's see. First, initially clock and address and command is placed by the master. Whenever it places the master, the corresponding slave is identified, and if the slave is ready, it places the data on the data bus. At the same time, it indicates I am ready by asserting a logic 1 signal, that is slave ready. Now the master stores the data into the input buffer of the processor. Okay, the basic difference of previous one and this one is only the clock cycles. The previous example is we are considering only single clock cycle, that is the long period. Now it is a multiple clock cycles with high frequency clock signal. Okay, with this the synchronous buses is completed. The next were asynchronous bus. Okay, what is the main difference between synchronous and asynchronous? In synchronous, we are synchronizing with the same clock for all the devices. In asynchronous, we are using different speed devices. Okay, different clock signal devices. Okay, there is a speed difference. How they are communicate each other? To avoid the miscommunication, we are using handshaking signals. Handshaking signals is nothing but the master indicates I am ready to take the data or to give the data, and the corresponding slave, if the slave is ready, it indicates by slave ready signal. Okay, there is a communication with the handshaking signals. Let's see for asynchronous buses. The same operation we are considering, that is the input operation. Input operation is nothing but read operation. The processor reads the data from the external devices. Okay. Okay, here we are using handshaking signals. Okay, same thing. The master has to place the address and command, and it has to assert master ready signal. Whenever the master ready signal is asserted, the slave has to place the data on the data bus. At the same time, it has to assert data is ready. Okay, now the data is available and it indicates the slave is ready. Now the master has to strobe the data. At the same time, after completion of work, it will send a master ready to logic 1 to 0. Okay, that is the operation is completed. Whenever there is a transition from 1 to 0, the slave has to be make 1 to 0. That is, the slave has to be logic 0. That is, its operation is completed, so it removes the ready signal. At the same time, it removes the data on the data bus. That is, the operation has to be completed. Next, in the next clock cycle, the operation is completed, so the master removes the address and command on the address and command bus. Okay, just observe what is happening. In the handshake signal mode, that is in a synchronous bus, first the master places address and command on the address bus. Next is asserts master ready signal. Whenever it receives the master ready signal, the slave, if the slave is ready, it indicates by the slave ready signal. At the same time, it places data on the data bus. As it is a read operation, the slave has to place the data. If it is a write operation, the master will place the data. Next, once the data is available and the slave is ready, the master will strobe the data from the slave, and as the operation is completed, the master will removes that, deactivates the ready signal will be logic 1 to logic 0. Whenever it becomes a transition from logic 1 to logic 0, the slave is also makes in the next clock cycle, it will also 1 to 0 and removes the data on the data bus. With that, the operation is completed, so the master also removes the address and command on the bus. Okay, that is the input operation, read operation in asynchronous. Next, go for write operation or output operation in asynchronous bus. Write operation, that is the master write the data, that is the data itself it is ready with master. So at the time of address and command only the data is we are placing. Just see, the master provides the address and command. At the time of T note only we are providing the address and command. At the same time data. Why? Because the data itself it is ready with the master. If it is read operation, the master has to read the data from the external, so it will take time. Okay. For write operation, the for write operation, the data is itself it is ready with master, so it is available with the at the time of address and command only. Now the master ready signal will be asserted. With that, as it is there asserted, the slave recognizes that ready signal of the master, at the same time address and data, and slave stopes the data from the master, and as it is a operation is completed, the master will be logic 1 to the master ready signal will be transitioned from logic 1 to logic 0. The same as it is in the previous case, as there is a transition from 1 to 0, the slave is also from 1 to 0, that is ready signal to 0 signal, and the master removes the address and data on the buses. Okay, this is about asynchronous buses write operation. Thank you.